You are here live for the top truth memes of the week, number 3. I'm Wake Souls, your host, and I'm joined by the limitless one, Ronnie Harris. How are you doing, brother?
Great, man. Great to be here. Friday night. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Party time, right? It's the weekend. It's the weekend. Yeah, we're
Party
gonna
time. You mean like research, create memes, try to spread truth?
top truth memes of the week.
Yeah, we got a bunch tonight. It's funny. They keep crashing all my links. All my tabs keep crashing. So that's okay. I've always prepared. I had them all saved. So I'm just constantly working with stuff. It's just some things happen just in such amazing ways sometimes. Little things just happen and they take place inside this realm. And I just had one of those experiences. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to tonight. There's so much to go over. You got into the ring finally. Finally. Some meme work, but I mean, week 2 you did make some, but I didn't even play them. So I'm going to be careful.
There is that.
I don't want to cut you up. Yeah, I don't want to cut you up over that. But you came up with a great one on non-duality, something we've been talking about for years and years. So we'll be getting to that after. And then just a mixture of a bunch of stuff. We're definitely going to be explaining things that most people probably have never really heard. We talk about so many different topics, from healing to spiritual healing to physical healing to anything that's covered with the truth, right? So, and again, these are truth memes. We can't be throwing out vulgar sexual ones or super there's a limit to what we can do. This is the Limitless Channel, but we still have all audiences watching sometimes. So we try to do things in a little bit cleaner way. So, I mean, there could be so many more memes that we could be sharing. But they have to meet a kind of a guidelines. It has to be healing or truthful. We're looking for good truthful memes.
Yeah, we try to navigate a line, right? Because it's a tough line where we don't want to be dirty, right? We don't want it to just come across as filthy. But sometimes there's some shock value in some things, and there's ways to not be a prude and not be wicked either. You can just back in the day, there used to be jokes about people's races and stuff like this. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but you used to make fun of somebody for
yeah.
and nowadays that's a big no. So everything is there's a sliding scale there that's adjustable. So we try not to be the extreme one way or the other. Try to find that.
It's tough. It's
right?
tough, right? It's a balance. Everything is a gradient, right? So there's either all truth or no truth. There's not multiple different truths. It's just either have all truth or no truth. No, I'm sorry, that I'm making it finite again. I'm already going against the non-dualistic standpoint. But yeah, no, it's going to be a fun time. The walking the balance of having truthful content, and then there's so many different things to be fighting for. And one of the main things that I wanted to rant about is that social media can be super toxic. There's the pitfalls absolutely everywhere. Not even to get into the whole new suits that people are trying to go into now so that they can have touch. We're going to have some of the most debaucherous, satanic, wicked stuff in the realm. But there's also this other side to it, where it basically, you can get anything out of something. So if you can use social media and use it as a weapon against the wickedness of the earth, you're absolutely going to be rewarded for that. Right. But if you go on it and you find that it's toxic and the rest of your life is starting to fall down, you need to get off. You need to put the phone down. You need to turn your computer off. I hope people out there have computers with big monitors to watch the content. If you're still on your cell phone, I'd strongly suggest trying to take breaks from the cell phone, laptops, iPads. There's different types of technology than just the touch phone, cell phones.
It's a different experience. It really is, because it's not so swipeable. The laptop or the desktop or whatever it is that you might be using that you would be able to see on a bigger screen. So it's more purposeful, in my opinion. I do as little as I possibly can on my phone. I just use it to catch a reminder or see that something's happened, and then I want to be at my desktop to actually do anything, because this is where I have access to all my tabs, and if I want to send something, receive something, I want to access files. It's so much more than just what a cell phone is. I know people have figured out how to maximize what they can get out of a cell phone, and I get that. But it's one of those investments that I recommend that if you keep we're all internet addicted. All right, everybody that's here right now, let's just face it, we're internet addicted. And for each one of us, if our internet was shut off, it would be a problem. Right? It would be a real issue. So I just, if we're gonna satisfy our internet addiction, I recommend doing it with the tools that are gonna make you most successful. Like if you have goals of sharing truth and stuff like this, you're not gonna be as effective off the cell phone as you are off of something with a big screen, and you got plenty of data storage. Like these things are actually worth the sacrifices in life to save up enough money to have those tools at your disposal, and just practice moving your digital time from the phone to the sit down situation.
So basically, I just want people to take a good introspect of themselves and look at, what are you doing? What are you accomplishing? What are your goals, right? What are your goals with your time? Because we can all get stuck in the scroll thing, right? It just happens. Sometimes that's how you connect with people. There's multiple aspects of the internet. Yes, my name is Ronnie, and I am addicted to the internet too, but I use the internet to wage war against the wickedness of the realm. And so if I have that goal, then I can then judge, what am I doing with my time on there, like categorize it and figure out what's going to benefit me the most. I constantly don't want to be a voice out here that's, subscribe, hit like, comment, buy our t-shirts. No, I actually want to reach through the technology and share myself with other people in a positive way, so that you become more healing, more self-loving, more healthy. These are the goals that we have here, and fighting for the truth is like top level, right? If you know that this is a simulation or a game, and there's these rewards, like you get the video game coins,
Well, I honestly think, brother, that what we're doing right now, if we keep doing this, we're creating the ultimate database of truth memes in the world. So reality check. I mean, each time a meme gets inserted here, this means that the meme has gone through a vetting process. Right? Multiple people have looked at this meme and see the advantage that it has, that it's not too dirty. It falls within, like, just sort of a middle of. It's not playing on sexuality to the point that it's vulgar, right? But you just find memes that will get a reaction out of a good chunk of people with a good message in it, a truth message. And so here we are, we're putting out the top memes of the week on Friday nights. One of the things that I really want to ask people to actually start participating in is, in the comment, tell us what the top meme of the week is according to you. Because if you give us data like that, then at the end of the year we can actually look through and see which memes scored the highest each week, and then we can do top memes of the year and actually have real data to work from. But that's going to require that's going to require people saying what their favorite meme of the week was. So cast that vote. I would love it.
Because we just make our opinions, right? Like, yes, we get the best music in the realm, like according to us. Right? But you guys on the other side of the screen, you matter too, right? And you don't necessarily have to agree with everything that we say. We want to hear from you. And what kind of content would you guys like? What topics are you interested in? And, there's just so many things. I continually want to tell people to become positive, manifest. We're going to be getting into all these different types of topics tonight with the different memes, with the power of thought. There's still so much to come too. Like I'm behind in making content. I've got this huge briefcase of stuff that needs to be done, and I haven't stopped with the last week's creation yet too. So I want to try to get other people on the other side of the screen to want to be a part of that too. You should be fighting for truth. You should be racking up points, reaching people. Well, each person has their own role inside the game. Not everybody can do the exact same job. It just is the way that it is. So you just got to find what you're passionate about, because if you enjoy it, you get like a boost of energy when you do something. That means it's healthy for you. That's what you should pursue. If you like to make memes, if you like to share memes, maybe you're a comment type person, but maybe you just want to be around the truth. That's what you do. All these different things are super important. But if you're not following along, if you're not on my Facebook feed, right? If I don't see you posting memes, you won't make it into the memes of the week. And this isn't about like, ooh, who's the best or who's that. None of that matters here. There's no one is being respected other than the things that they do. There's nobody is claiming to be higher than anybody. We all just work for the truth. And I just want other people to want to be a part of it. Like, I was thinking to myself, I could cover all the drama too, you know what I mean? Like, this week in the drama of the, in the Facebook feed, this person was banned. We could do all these different types of segments. But I mean, I'm a private person to a degree, so I don't know if I'll be doing any drama episodes, but we could make things more fun. And again, I just want to let people know before I give it back to you, Jason, I'm still building up the feed, and I'm just getting back into the people that I had before. So again, there's a lot of memes, but I don't have as much as I would like. I have a new process now of what I'm going to be doing. And it doesn't matter how many reactions you got. If you got one reaction and the meme is good and you're doing a good job, you're going to make it on too. We're going to show you meme. And if anybody doesn't want to have their Facebook memes shared on the live stream, please just let us know. Let us know. We try to let everybody know that, hey, I'm going to share one of your memes. If you don't answer, that's a yes, right? If you don't make a response, the person asking the question gets to decide the answer.
Exactly.
You forego that. And I do know there's introverted people out there, but if you don't want to be on here, just let me know. And those that do, just keep making memes. We got a comedian friend of mine, Kojak. He made a meme that made it in tonight. Some people in Australia. We got people all over the realm. Someone here in Texas. I have a meme to share. In Europe, there's lots of people in the UK, in Canada as well. So I just want to support everybody out there that's fighting for truth. I never thought my entire life that we'd all be locked down and fighting for truth together online with memes, right? With images. When, again, I'll tell everybody that I was in a band in high school, and there was this fad called zines. And they were little magazines that everybody made, and they put like truth facts about McDonald's had cardboard. Well, we didn't go full what's in the McDonald's meat, but I mean, that was the start of the meme, right? And I don't know if anybody on the other side of the screen ever heard of a zine, or you were in that community. It's just funny to see where it's actually now at. We've got thousands and thousands of people that are fighting for truth. Well, it is a small group though, Jason. I'm going to throw it back to you now. Like, if we really were to look at the data, 8 billion people, how many people are out here fighting against the New World Order, fighting for truth, sharing love, trying to build other people up? Like, it's a very small group. And I'm just super thankful to be here with every one of you guys. It's an honor, really.
Oh, we are whittled down into the smallest subsection of all of humanity. All right. So, I mean, you just go through the fundamental truths that are in the description box, or you see going through in the lower thirds here, and we've subdivided ourselves from the heliocentrists, from the fake flat earthers, from the atomists, from the people that don't use Yahawah or Yahawahashai, and from the people that use calendars other than the true Hebrew calendar, and from people that worship the Trinity. So, I mean, that right there is the most radical subdivision you could possibly imagine. So if you follow
that we live in a supernatural simulation / realm. I could go on and on and on. The nukes aren't real, and that chemtrails we've debunked. 5G thing, we have a different standpoint. I could just go on and on and on and on and on.
But not all of those are fundamental truths. But the six that we have, those radically separate ourselves. And so, if you want to look at this percentage-wise, let's see, if you're talking 1 in a million, that would be 8,000 characters if there's 8 billion people, right? I think I'm doing that math right. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I think that would be like 8,000 people. We surely don't have 8,000 people that are fighting for those 6 fundamental truths. It's a smaller number than that. So we're at numbers well beyond 1 in a million. So it is a super small fraction of the world that cares about radical truth, right?
Super small amount, right? Super small amount. And then within that super small amount, everybody has their own understandings and what they've been taught or learned. And then that separates everybody even further. But we want to actually find ways to bridge the gaps, to create bridges to different topics that we can all work together on. Because we really are the 99%. Really, when you look at it, most of the 99 has no clue. Or we're the 1% of the 99%. Sorry, but it's true. It's true.
And 1/100th of a percent, actually. 100th.
888th. I mean, I'm just thankful that you guys are all, waking up and fighting for the truth too. That's the most important thing that we can do, right? Teach our children the right ways to be, prepare the way for other people. Just leave a trail. That's what you can do. The social media stuff, unless they ban it or take it down, it stays up. Right? You created something like a painting that's immortal. Right? This is possible for you guys on the other side of the screen to get those timestamps too. But I don't really have too much. We do have a lot to get into. I'm really excited. There's so much, and you're going to be leading it off, right? You've got your non-dualistic meme tonight. That's really good.
I wrote a big chunk on this piece, and some memes are just meant to be quick. You don't need a whole big explanation about it. That's the nice thing about a meme. Some of the memes you can just you see it and you get it, and it could be funny. You might have learned something new. This one, I'm trying to take down an entire ideology with a meme, and so I packed as much as I could into the actual graphic itself, and then I wrote a bunch of narrative to sort of like support it, to help it along for a person that's interested in it. But once again, so a person that's going to be paying attention to duality or opposites not being true, I've got to guess that this is a 1 in a million character throughout the world, and so it's a very small group. So it's really just out there for the people that are interested in maybe trying to tame the ego or absolutely transcend the ego. These things are possibilities. So for the person that's interested in that, and once again, this is 1 in a million people are actually going to, their ego is going to want to try to somehow improve themselves other than in monetary or physical appearance ways. I mean, that's a radical, crazy idea, right? So the ego is going to fight people on this topic very hardly. It doesn't want to know that opposites don't exist, because as soon as you know that opposites don't exist, the entire foundation for duality is gone. And believe it or not, there's once that takes place, a person actually has direct control over the ego from that standpoint, where they start actually perceiving themselves correctly. All right, you might still have errors, things you have to work on, things that you have to adjust, but you actually will evaluate them correctly and come up with good solutions that will make the positive effects that you want to outcome. So the ego, what it does is it creates generally a self-inflationary perception covering up for perceived flaws. And the ego does this to us because of duality. We're going to try to point that out tonight.
Yeah. If people don't understand the black and white checkerboard symbolism, right, that's dualistic mindset. That's what they're promoting, right? Just so people understand, sometimes you don't need to call out the head wound and just cut the head off. That's all we need to do. It's not about anything else except for that. So yeah, I want to get into that meme. So understanding non-dualistic thinking is key to your success to be able to make correct choices, to operate outside of the ego. Unless you understand how it's operating inside of you, you can't really operate outside of it. And Jason sacrificed a lot to get to the point of understanding these things. You were like enlightened, right? You were just gone out of the world, just on a different vibration, gone. You followed the teachings to the T. And what you came back with, right? You got stung in the mouth by some crazy Texas-sized bee. Yeah, you were unenlightened now. You were unenlightened. And you brought a bunch of these just golden threads back to us with all these different areas of truth. I've benefited from them, and I want everyone else on the other side of the screen to also benefit from those same golden threads. And that's what we do. We just throw the threads down, and the truth is the truth is the truth. It doesn't need anyone. It's a roaring lion. We just let it out. Jason and I just witness the truth. We don't own them. No one owns any of the truth. It's free. The truth that you have to pay for is the mind control. You got to buy that. Not only do they want to mind control you, but they want you to pay for it. They want you to suffer for it as they feed it to you. The truth will always be free. Let's get into this, man. I know you're going to go first. We got to do a jump off camera and get into this, right? You're not ready? I still got work to do because they closed all my tabs, but it's fine. Okay.
And we are back. So that was a sneak preview of the memes of the week that we're going to be going through, everyone. Sorry about the microphone maybe being muted a little bit before the break. But yeah, tonight we're going to be starting with a meme I made. Yeah, Ronnie pointed out this is like my first meme. Well, actually, it's my second one. There was one from last week as well.
I got that.
And so yeah, I got this out today, and I'm just going to zoom in on it a little bit here so that you can really see what's going on. We'll go through it together quick. It says, "Did you know opposites do not exist? Have you ever thought of what the opposite of a car, a bird, a fruit, song, tree, or a hammer is? Probably not, because opposites do not exist. Every instance of a perceived opposite can only be accurately expressed as three different things here. Well, there's a fourth one, but the three main ones are a single item in varying amounts. This would be gradients. So this is hot and cold. This is light and dark. Like the vast majority of everything that a person is going to call an opposite is actually going to be a part of a gradient. This is by far the most of psyopt opposites. Now the other, like the next popular group of psyopt opposites is things being 180 degrees of each other. So north and south, east and west, up and down, all these things are opposing directions. There's just one thing, right? There's not multiple things. The next section, this is even less, being a reciprocal or an inversion. Sometimes people, just because something's inverted, they'll think that it's the opposite of something, but it's actually the same thing. It's just inverted, flipped upside down. So I make the point, duality is a fundamental cognitive error resulting in a misperception of reality. Teachers of duality base their entire narrative off of a belief in opposites. Since opposites do not exist, duality is a psyop. So it's pretty straightforward. Do you have any questions about the picture meme at all, Ronnie?
I like it. I like the fact that you're pointing out the gradients, how we got the scales, and these types of actions, because these are measurable things that are tangible.
All right. So buckle up, everybody. I wrote something to go along with this as well. So I'll take you through this, and then we'll get into Ronnie's memes after that. So this is what I wrote. Test yourself to see if you can find one legitimate pair of opposites. So this is to each and every person out there. We had a person today proposition 2 different things, and we're able to respond to them. And I feel real strongly that the responses that we gave were strong answers on how they're not opposites. So test yourself, and you will be shocked to discover that there is no such thing as an opposite. So, I mean, this is one of the things that as children, we are indoctrinated into believing in opposites. We're told up and down, left, right, all these things are opposites of each other. The reason knowing opposites are a psyop is important is because their advent was to support a false ideology called duality. A person that believes in duality sees a polarized version of reality which does not exist. So if an opposite does not exist and it's the basis for an ideology, it means the ideology has no basis. A filter is applied to the person that believes in duality that distorts every thought process and interaction of the believer. This is part of a core root cognitive process that runs subconsciously in most people, where the decision maker is already inclined to certain choices due to its fundamental belief in duality. So just want to stop and talk about this for a second. So can you envision core root fundamental thought processes that have become so rudimentary to you because you believe a certain thing, that you're just going to make choices based off of that belief in something? So this belief in duality is such a low, most people don't even think about duality. Like the idea that there's duality and non-duality, most people haven't even contemplated before. But once you hear about it, you can't undo it, because this is a teaching that we are faced with from infancy. And so I'm just letting people know that you're making choices right now in your life based off of duality that you don't even know about if you believe in duality. All right. So let's keep going. Duality juxtaposes every thought and action with an equal but reversed counterpart. That would be power A on the right side has a power B on the left side that's equal and opposite. So these are like 2 opposing forces, like you would think of as the creator and Satan opposing each other. And it's not like that. We're going to get into that. Understanding that opposites do not exist is the key that unlocks this root level decision making process and allows you to make adjustments to your psyche and give you full access this should have to ego control. Note, if there is one thing the ego does not want you to learn, it is that opposites do not exist. Expect your ego to have a fit if you are reading this. So just a prepper to people that as you start contemplating that opposites don't exist and then duality doesn't exist, but yet you've made a whole bunch of decisions in your life thinking, you know, duality's real. Right now, all of a sudden you'll have to, you're actually going to be given like the edit control to your personality. And the ego doesn't want you to have that. It wants to act like you have no say or control in this matter whatsoever. It wants to keep this a secret. If you're a person that wishes to suppress or fully eliminate your ego, all you need to do is fully understand the meme. The key is knowing that opposites do not exist. Once you know this, then you can just throw away any thought you ever had while believing in duality and start over fresh. Now don't worry, you do not have to relearn everything you know. You simply have to run it through a new filter to make decisions going forward. So There's going to be a panic moment from your ego. Oh, every single thing I did in my life was based on duality. I always believed in duality. And you might panic and think that you're going to have to relearn everything. No, everything that you learned, now you have to run it through a new filter. Right? It's reprocess it, taking the duality aspect out of it, and you're gonna find that you have so much more flexibility. Duality creates a rigidness, and it creates a place where the ego likes to self-inflate itself. It continues, I will help you with a few examples of supposed opposites to show you that opposites do not exist. This is not something that most people have ever even considered, because people are indoctrinated to believe opposites exist from infancy on up. There are three main ways people are psyoped into believing in opposites. The most used category is gradients. When people are asked to name opposites, you will often hear hot versus cold. There is only one thing being measured, and that is heat. When there is a lot of heat, people say it's hot. When there's a lack of heat, they say it's cold. Also keep in mind that the temperature that one person says is hot or cold is subjective, yet the actual temperature is absolute. You will often hear people say light versus dark. There is only one thing being measured, and that is light. When there is a lot of light, people say it is bright. When there's a lack of light, people say it's dark. There is not a thing called anti-light. You cannot shine darkness into a room and remove its light. So this is just pointing out that there's not an opposite thing to light that's anti-light. Or you can't shine anti-light into a room and remove light. There's only light. Or black versus white is another. Once again, there is only one thing that is being measured, and that is color. When there is all color, we say it is white. When there is no color, we say it is black. For these to be actual opposites, there would have to be two completely removed and dissimilar things. One a color, and the other an anti-color. Let me give you an example that might help you make sense of this. Take, for example, electricity. There's only one thing, electricity. It comes in a gradient. You can have lots and lots of electricity, like thousands of lightnings hitting the same place at the same time, and you can scale that down to the milliwatt. But all you are looking at is the gradient of one thing. There is no such thing as anti-electric. There is not an equal power to electric that is the antithesis of electric. You cannot reverse power something with a power called anti-electric that is the opposite of electricity. It's one thing. Water provides us with an important example to consider as well. Here we are considering one thing, water. Water can exist in three states. Above a certain temperature, it is a gas. Below a certain temperature, a solid. And between, a liquid. One thing in three different states. Understanding this concept is going to be essential to understanding how one certain apparent opposite is not actually an opposite. This one is the most important to understand and also the most difficult, so we will leave it to last. The next style of opposite psyops is that of opposing directions. Left, right, up, down, east, west, north, south are all opposing directions. There's only one thing being measured, and that is direction. In order to have a real opposite, you would need the antithesis to a direction. It would have to be a non-direction. So what is the antithesis to a direction? It doesn't have one. And using opposing directions as proof of opposites is fallacious. The next style of opposite psyops is that of reciprocals or inversions. This is the flipping of one thing. The reciprocal of a fraction, like 1/2, is 2/1. One means 0.5 and the other means 2. They are not opposites of each other. They are both numbers and they do not have equivalent values. Inverting something does not make it an opposite either. If you hang a human upside down, it is still a human. It's not an anti-human. If you apply a negative filter to a picture, it is still a picture, just with a negative filter applied. There is one more type of opposite psyop that did not get covered in the meme, and that is male versus female. It's not a gradient, an opposing direction, or an inversion. It is two options to one thing, gender. There are only two options. Now, due to genetic variations, there's a slight gradient between the two, but 99.9% of the time, a creature is either male or female. So there's a couple androgynous animals, and every once in a while a birth defect that leaves people with, they might have a sexual organ, a blend, right? A dual, yeah.
It happens, that's just the problem with the way that our code lines up, right?
They cannot be opposites, though. They are differentiation between one thing, gender. A true opposite would have to be something anti-gender. Now on to the most difficult of all the opposite psyops to understand, good versus evil. Believe it or not, good versus evil is a gradient. There is only one thing being measured, and that is love, compassion. Remember me talking about how water is one thing that exists in 3 states? Love, compassion is like water, but it has 2 states. There is only one thing that is being measured, and that is love, compassion. When we think of the ultimate level of love, compassion, we think of the Creator and His Son, the Christ. At the lowest level, we think of evil, such as the Satans, or a creature that has complete contempt for life. This is actually a gradient and not 2 opposing powers. There is only one power, and that is love, compassion. As love, compassion diminishes in power, it eventually goes through a qualitative state change, just as with water, from being pro-life or benevolent to being anti-life or malicious. What is labeled good or evil is also subjective, just like with temperature, unless specified by an absolute, the Creator. This is another case of there not being 2 opposing forces equal but opposite. The Satans, the wicked, these are not opposing forces that are opposite equals. The power that exists within love, compassion diminishes to the point that at the qualitative state change from benevolent to malicious, the power is gone and everything has to be actualized through force. Force requires energy, whereas power has energy innately. I just want to bang on this point quick, that when a person is acting from a benevolent position where they want to help other people, they're willing to do that. They're not going to lie. They're not going to cheat. They're not going to steal. They're a benevolent person. They're pro-life, right? They support life. And then there's a breaking point, right? Where below a certain threshold, now all of a sudden, in order for the people that are working from this malevolent and now becoming more and more what we would call evil position, the only way that they can achieve their goals is through force. They have to do it through lies, through deception, through physical manipulations, all these types of things. They have to force that into effect. So the power that exists with benevolency, it's innate, right? The energy actually, you don't have to force people at that point when it's beneficial. So therefore, we cannot say that evil is the opposite of love, compassion. It's all a measurement of one thing. Love, compassion does not have an anti that is equal yet opposite. So why is knowing the opposites does not exist beneficial again? Because everything you've ever heard about duality is based off of the belief in opposites. If you know that the opposites do not exist, then you can completely disregard any dualistic explanation you have ever heard been given for anything. How will this change your perception of reality? Hopefully you will stop seeing things as black and white. Right? So we're told things are black and white. This is black and white. The Freemasons, black and white. Everything's black and white. They try to lump everybody in to an either or option, and they try to make that a false dichotomy as many times as they can. They make it black or white. But what we're pointing out here is black and white, they're not opposites, they're gradients on a scale. So you can be any color in between black and white as well. Hopefully you will start to see that every metric you use in your life for one thing that everything you use in your life is for one thing in a gradient amount. So now all of a sudden you start to look at your life as everything being like a slider that you have control over, that we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of personal attributes that you can all you can measure each one individually, and it's not black or white. It's somewhere on a gradient, and we can work on those things as gradients, just bumping a few points up here on this slider, a few points up here on this slider. Gonna cue this up a little bit. Cleansing yourself from the filter of duality will allow yourself to rationalize your decision-making process on a broader spectrum of choices than duality's either or spectrum. This allows the ego to keep a more accurate version of self and avoid the need for ego inflation, which leads to a distorted view of self. If our only options are good or evil instead of a gradient in between, the ego starts to make stuff up because of its perceived inadequacies. The only way to perceive reality accurately is through non-dualistic awareness, and the only way you're going to be able to achieve that is through reaching the understanding that opposites do not exist. Let me know if you need any help. It took me 4 years to understand this one, but I think it might be shareable to anyone that cares. So that was my first meme. I know I wrote a mouthful there. Sorry, but hopefully it helps somebody.
Yeah, it's really well written. Oh, am I coming in hot? Sounds like I'm loud in my headphones. I don't know how it sounds for you guys.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that was great. You know, you did a great job, and people have to digest that and go over it, if that's what you're seeking. If you're looking for truth the same way, if you're trying to figure it out like we are, we share everything that we learn. We don't slow play anything. I don't have screen share ability. I could just keep getting more and more memes. It's a good thing that you finished. I was preparing. We'll see if we can get through this amount, and there could be more. And again, I'm still getting used to this. This is a new thing. Right? We're just building it. We're manifesting it into reality together, right? Mm-hmm. All you meme creators and people on the other side, boom, I think it's available now. Hopefully nobody calls me or messages me. I've tried to turn that stuff off. I think you'll have to sort of get to the size, so when I open them up, they'll be like this big. Just let me know when you're good.
Pretty close here. I just gotta move your screen share just a hair.
Yeah, if you guys,
we're good.
Yeah, hopefully people in the chat, in the comment sections, if you wanted to discuss the non-dualistic thinking more. And again, remember who has the checkerboard floor, right? Just keep that in mind when you understand. And you cut the head of the snake off, who the snake's slithering by, right? So we're going to start this week off with one that I made. And I just want people to know that I truly take the concept of someone's artwork, and I just try to like frame it out and just try to present it nicely, because I feel like memeing is a type of art. It's the highest level almost, besides, you know, creating an actual video where you're animating things. But on a static picture level, this is your top level art for me. And I just want everybody on the other side of the screen, you guys need to know that I'm my biggest fan. I enjoy looking at the things that I create, and I put a lot of effort into making them actually teachable. I want people to learn. I want to inspire other people to want to be hungry for knowledge. So this one here we're starting off with is kind words, right? Jason, what do you think about kind words? What were you told as a kid?
If you don't have something good to say, don't say it at all.
It's good advice.
It really is good advice. I actually live by that one pretty strong. I had people remark at the fact that I didn't just go on about stuff. I didn't just talk to talk. I spent a lot of time listening too.
You have to be an observer, right?
Yeah,
so here,
I've been inclined towards it. Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't talk unless you're observing, right? So let's get into this. How important are the things that we say? How important are they, Jason?
It's the way we lay code down in this world. So written is like the most succinct. Verbal is, it's a little bit sloppier, but you can get it out quicker. Well, it's not what goes into your mouth that defiles you. It's what comes out of your mouth. So, yeah, that's our speech. We got to really be careful about that.
I mean, the simulation is voice activated. Do people understand that? It's voice activated. So what do you think your spoken words, they hold a tremendous amount of power. So understanding that your words hold power, you read this. Do you know that when someone verbally abuses another person, this action actually imprints spiritual scars that attach themselves to that person we can call the victim? Speaking kindly to yourself now, or having someone else who loves you speak kindly to you, can wash that imprint out. So an imprint, we can like it under the ego. We can look at, so everybody always wants to diagnose someone's physical illness. Nobody wants to go in and surgically fix the spirit. Now, shamans do it. Many people that you would call witches. There's all these different types of people. I don't put labels on things. It is what it is. A tree is a tree. You can see what the tree does. It doesn't tell me that it's a tree. So as a healer, so as someone that teaches truth, all these different types of things are just what they are. So if you have been in an abusive, toxic relationship, if you're in one now, you really need to start to control the things that you say and hear, right? And try to surround yourself with people that talk good things to you, right? These are the most important things that we can do. The spoken word, I'm going to be going over it throughout the night with all these different memes. Your words super matter. What you say, what you type, what you write, how you treat other people, all this is like the spiritual, like, what do I want to say? Like the blood of our existence.
And most people have the innate sense to tell whether or not it's kind words that are being spoken, or they're harsh words, or if they're hypercritical or stuff like that. There's an energy signature to kind words that's measurable, that people can perceive.
You can feel it. You can feel it, whether it's typed or spoken. Now, the spoken, again, this is the way, like, I don't understand. Before I just move on, I just really want people, if your body hurts, talk to it, right? Like, we probably think this is crazy, but you can literally speak things into healing. This is how we manifest. We feel it, we think it, then we speak it, right? These actions are very important. So the first meme from another channel is coming off Red Hat again from, I guess he's in St. Catharines, Ontario. This is a rare photo of Zuckerberg and his childhood friends. That's pretty good. He's a Borg, right? With a couple of aliens. I thought that was pretty funny.
He looks more like Data from Star Trek than Data himself.
Yeah, really.
It's
really.
weird.
The side-by-sides of the younger him is weird. I don't know. This is just he's weird. I don't like that he took my account down, but I'm not going to bitch about it. So this is Sarah Connor coming in here with a meme and says, it isn't the rebels who cause the troubles of the world. It's the troubles that cause the rebels. This is a great meme. It's absolutely true, right? If everything's peaceful and righteous, you don't have to rebel, right? It's when you're being oppressed by tyrants that they force your hand. And absolutely, the worst thing that you can do is force any being, especially humans or lions or these other types of animals. Go ahead, try and force one. See what happens. This is the worst place for these wicked demonic characters they're putting themselves into, right, Jay?
Yeah, the cornering of good righteous spirits. Eventually, there's some point where the animal inside tends to want to fight back. There was that rant from a trucker that I thought was pretty.
It was great.
Mm-hmm. Pretty inspirational, and I guess the message of it is the guys that they don't want to have to stand up. They're happy to just go about their life and do the work and take care of the family and stuff like that. When they get pushed into the point where they have to stand up, now all of a sudden they have to start doing things that they didn't want to do, and they know that they're now on the other side of the law. So cornering a person, cornering an animal, it's always going to result in a person fighting back in vicious ways. It really is.
Yeah. Unexpected things happen when you force people to do things that don't want to do them. And we're right there, right? But I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to be banging the desk. This is Casey, a friend of mine. She does good stuff. She has an interesting take on a lot of things. I believe she does healing work and stuff like that. This one says, growing your own food is like printing your own money. Prove her wrong. What do you say, Jay?
Yeah, if you got to spend money to get food, if you actually grew the food, then you didn't have to spend the money, so you wouldn't need the money. So I'm I look at so many options outside of money. I hate money as a medium. It's one of the big problems I see with this world. So growing your own food, being able to build your own stuff, all that kind of stuff is how you wean yourself off of money.
Yeah. Every way you can, right? And it's funny because it sort of looks like our property here, except the different type of trees, though. We've got the oak trees. But yeah, then we got the planter boxes and everything. We're actually going to be growing peanuts. We're going to be growing peanuts here in the spring. We're going to start growing them. They're going to be good. Peanuts help aid in sleeping. They have tryptophan in them. This guy, I think, came off of Joseph Bender's channel. He shared this link. It says, forgive your younger self and believe in your current self and create your future self. So this is a pretty profound statement, right? We've all made mistakes. We all need to forgive that and move on. We have to make peace with it. Shadow work, inward work. Christ said, how are you going to go around healing people if you're scarred and wounded yourself? You got to heal yourself too, or mostly. And then you can go around, and there was the word like taking a mote out of your brother's eye instead of like a toothpick or something, right? So the better way to put it is this: forgive your younger self, move on, be one with it, own it, and then believe in yourself, right? You can do it. You're capable. You're prepared to stop whatever had gone wrong in your life. You're ready to move forward, and then you just create it, right? So if you have these mindsets, you're gonna, if you speak these types of things into your life, they're gonna manifest, right, Jay?
Absolutely. So each one of these things is representing a time period. So the forgiveness would have to be for things in the past. The belief in your current self. So this now all of a sudden is pointing you to the exact instance of now, where you actually have a decision maker that can affect change and then create your future self. So I mean, it's great advice. So if you can forgive the younger self, you don't have to spend any more time in the past. You can now also be in the current and start making plans for the future. So all three together, great advice.
I agreed. I like this meme. Okay, this one's mine. This was a remix that we already shared in another podcast. So I just wanted people to know that bee watching is super therapeutic, right? The bee is translating a vibration. Again, everything in the realm that's spoken that has vibration has a healing effect to it. So bee watching is a super good thing to practice. They have one of the longest life expectancies of the professions. This one was funny. This is a Villiar pic. Making of the world's first camera. Who the took that picture then, right? This is the lander landing on the moon. They've got footage of that, right? If this is the first camera, who took the picture of it, right?
I love this one. That logic right there can be used for so many different things. Like when you see a picture of a satellite flying past Jupiter or Saturn or something, you're not seeing a picture of it because there's not a camera vehicle flying behind it getting these shots for us. I mean, the shots of the vehicle and the planet. So it's this, who took the picture if that's the first camera? I mean, that logic can be applied to so many different psyops, and I love it.
Oh, I'm unmuted while I was putting the chat back on. It keeps logging me out. The internet's really been trolling me. So yeah, again, I relate it to the person that filmed the landing on the moon is likened unto the who took the picture. This isn't a painting or a drawing, right? So I thought that was funny. This one coming in from YD. YD says, this just in, Trudeau will emerge February 2nd. If he sees a shadow of a truck, he'll go back for another 6 weeks. I thought that was pretty funny. Groundhog Day was a funny movie. He just keeps waking up and reliving the same day. Was that JW approved or no? Did you see that movie?
You know me, I wasn't a big movie watcher. I think I fell asleep through this movie multiple times, and I don't know that I ever ever got dry. The whole thing in one sitting.
It was dry. It was a bit dry. I'll keep it moving along here. Okay, I think this one came off Joseph Bender's channel as well. It says, never wish them pain. That's not who you are. If they caused you pain, they must have had pain inside. Wish them healing. So this right here was a teaching that Christ taught as well. It's just reworded a little bit. And he said to pray for your enemies, love them. So heal them. If you see someone that's sick, try to heal them. You don't just say, oh, you believe in heliocentrism, spit on the person. No, heal everybody, treat everybody good. So too does the sun shine on the good and the bad, and the rain that falls down from the heavens. It rains on both the good and the bad. So to hold ourselves accountable as who we are and where we came from, we live by these words. Jason, do you want to comment?
Yeah. Let's see here. The never wish them pain. It's not who you are. So we're continually trying to show, this audience that who you are is, it's just going to manifest certain attributes. And then the scriptures call that fruit. So who you are, you don't go around wishing ill to other people. That's just not who you are. Then it gives us a strong way to find compassion for that person, because if they caused you pain, we can assume that they're doing it because of a pain inside of them. That's the reason why they did that. And now if you turn the situation around and you wish them healing, you've totally flipped the situation around, and it's really a no-lose for you now at that point, because when you come back with that love and compassion to a person that's harmed you, they're either going to seal their doom or there's going to be forgiveness and healing. So either way, it's a no-lose situation. It's a great meme.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. Continuing on here, we got Frank Logic. This was also shared on Joseph Bender's page. It says the Vatican Christ, son of Lucifer. Right? We get into all this. We've gone through this quite a few times and shown how the Vatican really is like the Canaanites, part of the Canaanites. Look, this is something that the Pope and the two black popes or whatever, they're like this. What kind of iconography is this? This is just the dogs are howling. That's how bad this is. Jason, do you want to comment about this? This is the cathedral that they go in. Does anybody think that these people are serving the same people as us?
I was absolutely blown away when I found out that was all real, that was where the Pope hangs out and they have their big ceremonies and stuff with that stage, with that roof.
Yeah. I thought it was CGI,
right? Wow, I can't believe this. I mean, then I started to really understand that the Catholics aren't just incorrect Christians, they're Satanists.
Yeah, they're really incorrect. But we still pray for them, right? And try to help them out. Continue on here. This is Mel Ellie. She's got this one that says the power of the people is stronger than the power people in power, the power of the people in power, right? This is something that I was saying last weekend. You think Justin Trudeau has any power? No. He only has a perceived power that some queen thing gave him, and then everybody just submits to him, right? The people have the power, the ones who build the roads, the ones who maintain the sewers, the ones that pick up the garbage, right? These are the people with the power, right? As soon as they would walk away from all this, the entire thing would have been over. When Trump came out and said, we got 15 days to slow the spread, if everyone had said, absolutely not, we've had many times in the past illnesses and we've never shut the entire world down, we wouldn't be here, right? We wouldn't be in this situation because we let them have the power. So the truth is the power is the people. We have the power. It's stronger than the people in power, right? I know I butchered it.
Not only did you butcher it, it was taller than the screen and I had to bring it down, but people are seeing it now.
Okay, this is a work in progress. Jason and I are carpenters. We're not computer graphic artists. We didn't go to university for all this stuff, right? We self-taught most of it. But we do make mistakes. You want to read it?
The power of the people is stronger than the people in power.
Wow, that had power to it, man. Drop your topic here.
What's that?
What do you think?
Yeah. Anytime you think about any situation, if you have a crew of 100 guys and you have one man leading that entire crew, who's got more power? The 100-man crew that can actually do the work, or the one guy that's standing there telling them what to do? If all the guys say, no, we're not doing that, the guy that's supposedly in power has no power.
He has to capitulate.
Yeah, he's not the one doing it. So it's the people that do. If they gather together, they have the power.
It's a good positive meme. I liked it. It's true. right? I guess this one, another one I think off of Joseph's channel. It says, all too often we act like it's no big deal when inside our heart is breaking. I don't know if it was for sure, Joseph, but what I wanted to say about this is if you're hurting, if you're having a hard time, just reach out to somebody and share it. Sometimes even just writing things down, it sometimes getting them off your heart. I know everybody's going through a lot of ups and downs and trauma and all this other stuff. This is the side effects of when you do this to a population. We're not even going to go too far in depth. I just wanted to talk some healing words to this, is that just share how your heart's breaking. Write it down, share it with someone. You're not alone.
No, it's that communication, finding compassion, empathy, sympathy with others that are going through the same situation. There's so many different support groups. We know this. We know this works. Any group that's traumatized in a way, there's going to be some sort of support group, people that have gone through that can relate to that experience. Be it divorce, a death, you name it, addictions. There's support groups, and so we all need those types of support groups. It's if you find other good people that you trust, we can
feel it, right?
Yeah.
You can feel people. You can get a good sense of who you can talk to. And sometimes it feels good to just get things out. Just get it off your chest. It's very healing. So we move forward. Another one, I think, off Joseph again. He had a bunch. Your mind will always believe everything you tell it. Feed it hope, feed it truth, and feed it with love. This is what you think, what you tell yourself, what you say about yourself. Again, all these memes tie together, right? Constantly think about all of these points. Right? What you hold in mind will manifest. So your mind will always believe everything you tell it. So if you manifest it, if you say, I am this, you are telling reality what you are. So make sure you feed it hope, feed it truth. Jason and I are constantly saying truth. That's the most important thing in the game. It's truth. It's the most powerful. It's everything that you could want. Find as much truth as you can get. Use your brain like a muscle, and love yourself constantly. You have to be your own source. That's it. It's you. And other people that vibe with you, you can share this love together. And, just constantly remember your thoughts and then the things that you say all together. Jason?
Absolutely. That's a great one. Feed it. What you hold in mind tends to manifest. So feed it the things that you want to experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a reason why I'm putting these things on the screen, because these are the types of positive things that we need to always be reaffirming in ourselves. Constantly. Look at this one off Mel again. The world is changed by your example, not by your opinion. Right? Be this person. If you see someone that needs a hand, give it to them. Just do it. And you know what? I bet you most people that are listening right now are these kind of people. We all congregate together, just like the chickens. That we have multiple kinds of chickens, and you know what? They hang out with the ones that have the same colored feathers. It's simple. So just bring love back. Be genuine. In the face of the oppressors, we don't have to be like them. The rich eat the rich. They're gross. They talk bad about each other. They try to set each other up. They cheat on each other and lie and steal from each other. Do the exact opposite. Well, smashing them with the truth in the mouth. That's what we do here.
Holding the door, you name it. There's so many different places that you can just take the extra step and demonstrate to the people around that you think about them. All right, because that's really rare. Sharing that you think about them, that you care about them. It's huge. It's a difference maker.
Be the umbrella, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to stop them completely from getting wet, but just try to shield people a little bit if you're called to that specific role. Everybody has their own role. Keep going on here now. Reality check. It's in the description box, right? If you guys aren't subscribed to Reality Check, you're going to miss out, because when I got taken down off Facebook, I was continuing to post here on Reality Check the whole time. And down here, this isn't just a artwork piece. It's an actual meme. It says, truth will always be free. It is the mind control that they make you pay for, right? So if somebody's trying to sell you truth, be highly skeptical of anything that they're telling you after that, because people will do anything for money, anything. The people that are not viable, Those are the ones that they get dirt on. They hire criminals and people that have done really bad things, and they put them in the power places, and then they pay them. But I mean, they're not, they're there because of what they've done. So if you see anyone with these traits, run from them. They're not going to support your life. They're going to do disservice to you.
I love the graphic. I think you made an incredible piece there. The rip in reality showing another layer where he's crawling into another layer. That's really the way I see this world. So it speaks to me. And and then to have a graphic like this for reality check, where all this work that Ronnie and everybody's doing right now towards this memeing, we're posting all this stuff up on reality check. So we're creating a resource for everyone to go to that's going to be the ultimate truth meme library. So
well, it's more than that, actually. Not only do we do the truth, but we also do the music. We do the news, right? We do multiple categories: art, music, news, entertainment. We talk about it all. It's fun, right?
It's entertaining to me.
So I'll keep going. I guess this one again off YD. This one says, if you get tired, learn to rest, not quit. It never gets easier. You just get stronger. Like, rawr. It's a good meme. I agree with this. I've gone through a lot in my life, lots. And the one thing that I know for sure is anything that I ever had to work hard for that was tough was worth it. Anything that just came to me absolutely fell by the wayside. I took advantage of it. I didn't cherish it. So again, if you're tired, learn to rest. Don't ever quit. Don't give up. You're needed. Your voice matters. You make a difference. Each and every person that does anything for the truth matters. That's how you collect the rewards, right? And it doesn't get easier. The level bosses always got harder in the video games, right? Okay.
Yeah, no, it's the never quit is, it's so imperative, because as soon as you quit, that's self-defeat. The enemy didn't even have to do anything. All right, now all of a sudden you're just out of the game. You took yourself out of the game. You gave up. There's some great sports quotes. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So you have to take shots to be able to have the possibility of winning. So you have to get up. You have to keep going. But like Ronnie said, rest if you're weary, so that you don't give up. So you got to be able to measure that out. I love that it points out that it never gets easier, right? But what happens is you become stronger, so it doesn't seem as hard, the things that come up. You just continue to get stronger. Still, very difficult challenges.
Yeah, I had my whole Facebook and network that I had created for the truth taken away from me in one fell swoop, right? But did I give up? Absolutely not. We created a whole new thing. This whole meme of the week thing was all created like at the same time. The enemy can't stop me. This is a great meme. It makes me stronger. The more that they try to, it's going to come back on them times 700, times 700, times 800, times 1,000 over every time. Every time. It just gets double manifold. This is Michaela Meme. She's in San Antonio here in Texas. She's my friend. This one says, schools be like, our schooling system isn't set up for creativity. So either be obedient or we'll put you on drugs. So this is the problem that many of us deal with. I know I was labeled a ADD problem child. They put me on stuff to get through school, and then I got off of it, thankfully. But I never needed it. So because I wasn't obedient, because the mind control didn't work on me, I was like, hey, what? Like, this is nonsense. You got to put your kid on drugs. So, this meme really speaks to me, because there's a whole generation of people that went through this, and we know now, we understand exactly what they did. The whole entire narrative, right? We understand the Hegelian dialect of the situation, and more parents need to realize this too. Now, if your kids are in schooling and you can't homeschool and you have to work, and I know everybody has their own setup. I never label everybody in one box, but if your kids do go to school, you just have to teach them the important things at home, right? How to become individualists, how to think for yourself. That's what we need to teach the children. And then, congregating with other children is very important. Right? It's how we build people skills, right? That's how we interact with others, especially if we ever get back to a community style realm. I hope one day. It's very healthy. So Jason, what did you want to say about this meme? I thought it was a great meme.
Yeah, it is. Creativity, thinking outside the box. These are things to be cherished, right? This is the type CEOs are made out of, because people that are just brainwashed into obedience lack creativity, and they can't come up with new ideas, new concepts. So
that was you weren't allowed to come up with new stuff. You had to do exactly what the textbook said.
Right. Yeah. They want bots. They want slaves. They want to turn people into NBCs, even if they aren't one. So, yeah, creativity to be cherished. It's an absolute attribute that's going to serve you well.
Well said. The creativity part is very important too, because that's what we want. We want to promote that with our kids. We want to build them up in creativity. Ask them to create things. Problem solving is creating. They're interlinked. Again, this is off YD. Quote of the day: "Be willing to walk alone. Many who started with you won't finish with you." This is true. Jason and I have gone through so many people on our channels that have showed up, been involved, and then quit. Right? Don't base your decision on the advice of those who don't have to deal with the results. You do. You make every choice moving forward. Right? No one else that's giving you advice is in your shoes. We're all alone in this, and we all have to be accountable to our choices. Now, you can have people in your corner that are really care about you, that tell you good things, and that's great. It says, don't be pushed around by the fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams in your heart. So it's beautifully said, this meme. It's a really nice quote, and that's great words to live by. Always be a strong individualist, right? But know who your vibe is with, that you could trust. You have to call it out. You have to be ready. You have to just use your discernment with people. Am I starting to sound like Oprah or something? I don't know.
No, not Oprah.
I gotta fix the vibe. We gotta change the vibe. Maybe next week we'll have something hip or something. What do you think?
Eckhart Tolle. No, it's a great quote.
It is a great quote. Can we move on? I'll keep going.
Sure.
History. What? Did you want to say something?
No, that's good.
This is a great quote. Live by it. Listerine. Did you know? Did everybody know that a surgical antiseptic that was distilled and sold as floor cleaner and a cure for gonorrhea was then remarked as what we now use as Listerine? Jason, what did you think when I told you that?
It was just another groan for me, because I just keep finding out so many of the things that we use on our body, lotions and cosmetics and scented this and Febreze and you name it. It's all full of poisons. Bad. And then
Febreze is really bad, bro. And then, if anyone's listening, I'll make a Febreze one next week. Don't use Febreze anymore.
Then you find out that Listerine was used as a floor cleaner before we started washing our mouths with it. Oh, it's just a groaner again.
I hear you there. Let me move this down. Almost out of these tabs. What's the next one here? Again, this one's from YD. One day, many will hang their heads in shame when they realize the evil they defended and the heroes they ridiculed. This is absolutely true. When Christ was here, he was bringing up how the prophets were so brutally dealt with. Most of them, all the people that the Father hath sent that was good, that loved people, and that was for truth, they got cut in half, their heads chopped off, nailed to trees, and just left there to die. Many torturous things happens to those. That I'm shocked that me and Jason are still able to talk. It's great that we're getting to have the free reign. I know there's censorship, but I would assume that in previous lives, if I had said the things and done the things that I'm doing now, they would have already killed me. Jason, what do you say?
Yeah, that time is coming. We hear about in the Bible a bunch of times, Judgment Day, Judgment Day, Judgment Day. So people that have been storing up riches in heaven, the people that have been fighting for the truth, being good, righteous people, their time, their reward is coming. And the people that didn't, their judgment's coming as well. So one day they're going to be hanging their heads in shame, and they're going to be wishing that they had done otherwise. But unfortunately, it is what it is. I mean, a person's record is going to speak for what they did. That's it.
Yeah, everything will be as it is. That's why no one can lie in front of the Creator. right? Because all things are shown. They're all known. There's no hiding them. So this one's from Kojak, comedian Kojak, my comedian buddy. Now, we don't tell people to use the J word, but he's got it here. I think it's funny. How, I guess we can say Joshua will baptize religious leaders when he comes back. Like the Pope underwater like this. I absolutely love this. I thought it was really funny. I would have, even having that word there isn't even that bad. It's kind of funny, right?
Well, I remember playing in the pool as a teenager. When you held somebody underwater, the joke was you were baptizing them. So I get the joke here.
Yeah, he's funny, but the world leaders, they definitely do deserve this, right? And Christ is no pansy ass punk. Okay, he was quite the man, right? And he's not some soft teddy bear all the time. People need to figure that out. But I really like this. And this guy here, Kojak, he's really funny. He's Italian through and through, very Italian, and he's just really funny. Sometimes he makes the funniest comments in people's posts. And he's a comedian. He says things that are like over the line. He steps out there, what comedy used to be. We already talked about that, how people used to make jokes like that. He does that sometimes. He does some impressions too. We might have him on one time. He's funny as heck. It would be a good time.
Sounds cool.
I'm gonna keep going here. I guess someone shared this one. If I go like that, is it still on screen? It says every once in a while someone
I gotta move.
Every once in a while, someone breaks free from the programming and sees the light of truth. And from that moment on, their life is never the same. And this is so true. I liken this meme unto a parable of like Pinocchio, right? Or us. We're in the simulation, and what's real, we can't see, right? The spirit part. And when you find the truth, boom, you're changed. You can't unlearn the truth. It's when you see someone doing a magic trick and you see them palming the card. Okay, he's palming the card. Next time you see it, you can't unsee palming the card. So this one's a great meme. I really like this one. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, so we probably have some people that follow along that actually understand this moment because they've had the simulation realization, right? So this is something that can overtake you where you're studying, you're looking at something, and all of a sudden you get it. You really do realize that understanding floods in, and it feels like a warm rays of light. You feel it. You now know that you know it, that you can actually turn around and explain it to somebody else. And so these types of realizations can happen on multiple topics. So you can have many of these. But yeah, if you ever find somebody that has that awakening, it's the big paradigm shift where all of a sudden a person sees from a different vantage point, and they know that they've been elevated. They see where they were and they see where they are now, and it's a great feeling. There's a high that comes with it.
I agree completely. So at some point I do want to take a 5-minute break, but not yet. Let's keep going here. And the next meme, this one's off of a new subscriber of mine. He's pretty funny, and he puts out some good memes. It says his name is Joey Knows. He's here on Facebook. This one says awakening. It's a little bit of a dark picture here. It says the spiritual awakening is not usually pleasant. Often it feels like confusion, frustration, anger, sadness, grief, or being out of place because everything that you thought was true, you're conflicted with. This is absolutely truth. You're ostracized. You can't have conversations with people anymore that you used to. You lose your family, your friends, all the people that you loved. You get completely divided when you learn the truth. This is absolutely one of the most truest memes of the week. And I really want people to understand that you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. We're all together. The ones who are waking up, we comfort each other. We build each other up. That's what we do. It says this can be uncomfortable and challenging because it's an intense time of personal growth. You're growing when you're going through these pains. The book of Thomas says that once you learn the truth, it'll hurt in your stomach. You'll be sick, right? But then you'll come into the knowledge of who you are, and then you'll be totally healed of it. But despite how difficult it may feel, you're not going crazy. You're evolving and awakening. You're stepping into your kingdom self, your true millennial reign self, your eternal person. That's who you start to get in touch with when you start to learn the truth. This is why Jason and I have been out here battling, because we want to, and So many people we've confronted with their beliefs. They've been frustrated. They've been angry. They've been sad. We've dealt with all of this, and we're going to continue to. And I know, Jason, you've dealt with it on a super personal level. Super personal level. I don't know how personal you want to get to right now, but I'll give you the mic.
Yeah, well,
I'll be back in a second. Or go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things that a person is going to discover is that the higher you go up in spiritual progress, now all of a sudden you have to make harder and harder decisions. So the decisions become more difficult, more traumatic. They become the most extreme decisions you've ever had to go through in order to be put in a position where you get to make a certain choice. So one of the things that I constantly remind myself is the more difficult the situation I run into, the larger the lesson is to be learned from this, and to pay attention and really make the best decision I can. So one of the ways that you can tell that you're making good, rapid spiritual progress is by how much chaos and how difficult the decisions are that you're being faced with in your life right now. Because the more intense they are, the more intense spiritual work you're actually doing at that time. If you didn't have the difficult situations, you wouldn't be able to make those difficult decisions, and you wouldn't be able to be proving yourself spiritually. So there's a way to flip it around and see how you can use it for to your own advantage.
Yeah, everything's a test. We always come out of the storm stronger than we were when we went into it. We might not understand it in the beginning, but in the end, we will. I'm going to do one more, and then maybe do you still have last week's memes of the week clip? Short break, like a minute-long clip?
No, I replaced that. We could just play the memes of the week. Yeah.
Or the memes of the week one.
Yeah.
So this one's coming from another new subscriber apparently he's in Dallas, Texas too. Interesting, right? Logan Webb. I love this one. This one just spoke to me. It says, "Baby, this soul is thousands of years old, and I'm not like the others." Right? It's a guy sort of manifesting up. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, well, our research continues to lean us towards the idea that that we've done this trip many times, all of us, and it seems like a biblical thing to actually say. And so I can relate to ones like this that talk about, I don't have any memories of prior lives, but I still have the inclination in me that this probably isn't my first trip either.
Thousands and thousands of years old. So this one really, really spoke to me that Logan put up. And I'm going to have a better system of this. So I guarantee I'm going to speak this into power I'm going to use power, not force. This will be better next week because I'm going to actually put in place a system to keep the ones, because there were so many that I misplaced. This one here I like this one.
All right, I'm going to take us to break, and then we'll be right back.
Okay, thanks, bro.
Every day got has to kill. Day
And we are back. That little slideshow there, you may have recognized some of the memes that we've gone through already, and you got a sneak peek of some of the ones that are coming up.
You sure did. Well said, brother. I like that. Am I presented?
Yes, you are.
So this one's again, the world is an illusion. And you are, so this word says magician, but I'll change this to the worker of energies inside this illusion. What's real? Like I wrote here. Want to see what's real? So what's real is the choices that you make, your actions, the things that you say, right? Everything you do, your actions. You are the interactor in the simulation. So you choose. You are the one in control. You are, right? Not the illusion. It's just an illusion. That's why in the scriptures we're told, don't love anything in this world. None of it. It's an illusion. This is just a trial place, a test, a matrix, if you will. Let's move on. Unless you wanted to say anything on that one, Jay?
Yeah, I just keep on relating it to being like in a open world virtual reality where now actually the things that you think about, the things that you hold in mind, can actually manifest reality around you, especially once you start combining your power with other people's powers. Now then you have this amplified version of rendering that's way more powerful.
Yeah, rendering buddies. We haven't made that meme yet, but we're going to get to it. We're going to talk how you can triple and quadruple power your rendering, right? Through other people rendering with you. Let's go on to this one here. It says the real problem with our education system is that it tests memorization skills.
I don't think
not learning.
I'm not seeing it move.
Oh, should I on screen share? You going to put the thumbnail on? Sorry, everybody. We're having technical issues here. If I said that we're the top search for truth and information regarding Christianity, simulation reality, and the flat earth proofs. Is it fixed?
It is fixed.
Oh, yeah? You can now see the real problem with our education system?
I sure can.
Is that it tests memorization skills, not learning or intelligence. This is something that you want to actually teach your kids to be intelligent and to be able to learn on their own, right? More than you want them to be able to repeat back to you A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? You want them to actually start to understand how many characters there are in the alphabet. And can you read it backwards? And, you know, there's ways that you can improve your thinking skills. And memorization isn't the highest level of intelligence here in this realm. It's a great meme. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, once again, it's got... it's chewing up and spitting out creativity. I see on one of those spouts. So it's the standardizing. You got the characters. It's just bots. It's a machine line. They don't want any independent thought. And so we don't want an education system like that. We want to
come
be
out with the mortarboard on.
Right? Yeah, no.
Creativity, discipline, and intelligence. Right? They don't want you to discipline your kids. Right, which absolutely needs to be done, right, in a loving, kind way. So it's a great meme. Excellent meme. We'll move on here. This one's pretty funny. I think I got this one from the guy that debunked duality tonight. It says, don't be absurd. Nobody made us. We evolved by chance from snowflakes.
What's going on?
We're getting trolled, everybody.
It didn't change.
No?
I still see the real problem.
What do you want me to do?
I guess I'll go to thumbnail again and reshare. I don't know why it's not changing for you anymore.
Sorry, everybody. We're working with it.
We got it now.
The dogs seem to have to bark too when we live stream all of a sudden. It says, don't be absurd. Absurd. Nobody made us. We evolved by chance from snowflakes, right? The official narrative in 2022, because science. Right. It's pretty funny on multiple levels. So science and evolution tells you that we evolved, right? We just, the parts just evolved together like these snowmen would have had to been done. The tube and the carrot, it just evolved, right?
Yeah, we just came from snowflakes. Random chance.
I know there's a lot of snowflakes, but I don't know if they came from the snowflakes.
They put the snowflakes, put the sticks in, put the carrot nose on, put the hat on. Just snowflakes.
Snowflakes.
Evolution. Get some.
I thought this was funny. This was for get you some. Evolution. This was on Godlike, right?
Yeah, that cracked me up.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Okay, here we're getting to a good one. I forgot how to pronounce this
it's
word
not
again.
changing.
What?
What's going on now, brother? How come it doesn't change every time now?
I don't. Should I? If you leave it on thumbnail for a minute,
Okay.
I'll unscreen share. 1 second. Then I'll put it back on. Hopefully that fixes it.
Yeah, because each time it's stopping.
Now is it on?
It's back.
This one says sunlight is food. It says according to Ayurveda, sunlight is one of the main sources of prana. And some practitioners believe that it is possible for a person to survive on sunlight alone. The terms breatharianism in India may also be used when it is practiced as a lifestyle in place of a usual diet. Can you guys believe this? Jason, what do you always say?
Well, I talked about how there was a time period, once I knew that I was in a simulation, that I tested a whole bunch of things. I tested sunlight as food. I didn't go completely all in on it, but I did get down to the point where I was just having a couple handfuls of nuts a day and getting a whole bunch of sunshine. And I was working hard. I was doing physical labor, building, cutting down trees, like some of the heavy labor. And I felt sustained through the sunlight and very little food. So I'm a huge fan of it. I'm all for the sun.
Yeah, we're plants, right? Solomon in the scripture has spoken us to like lilies in the field, beautiful flowers, right? We're made from the substance, the same thing that made the flowers. Now, science will tell you all this. Oh, we're related to a banana, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not quite how it works.
Sunlight and temperature were the two main decision factors as far as moving to Texas. It's super important on my list.
Yeah, so we act like plants. We absorb the sunlight, and then some people can have more, some people can have less. There's all different things that happen throughout the realm, the way that we have our diet, the way that we're trained, the way that we're taught. All these things play a factor, but I just really like this one because I want to promote people that they do get healthy amounts of sun. We were made to enjoy it. And I just really like the artwork. I thought it was beautiful, and it kind of flips it, whereas the sun is a usually male character. And in this meme, it's a feminine presence. It's flipped. And I just think it's beautiful. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. You know, my reaction to it is I see those one eyes, and it's a little bit of a trigger for me.
It's not one eye. There's lots of eyes.
I know there's lots of eyes. The sun's like a big eyeball, right? It's a big round circle, but the message here, sunlight is food. It's not going to hurt anybody. You go out, get some more extra sunlight, and you know what? You might actually be able to just eat a little bit less than you normally do. You might be able to lose a few extra pounds and still feel energized, still feel good and healthy, vitalized, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The sun brings life, and you can eat it. It's energetic. We interact with it. Do it. Feel it. And manifesting it is understanding it too. And then you can use it more, right? You don't just have to trust Ayurveda. So we'll move on here. This one's about hugging. Right? And this is another
brother. It's not switching.
Do you want me to unscreen share?
I don't know what to do. I'll go to thumbnail. We're going to go through this process, I guess.
Sorry, everybody. We try to do our best. Again, we're just carpenters. And they do what they want. The computer does what it wants. I really love this meme. I love the colors. I love the art. I think the Truther painted this. Next podcast, I'll have his name. He does some funny stuff, right? He's got long red hair. He's pretty popular. If anybody knows, maybe Seth knows. He can put it in the chat. Seth is usually pretty good with this stuff. But it says hugging. This isn't a secret. This is an actual study. You can search online. It's pretty easy to find. It says hugging increases levels of the love hormone, oxytocin. A 20-second hug reduces the harmful effects of stress. It relieves blood pressure, ensures a healthy heart. A 10-second hug helps the body fight infections, eases depression, and lessens tiredness. It also helps in losing weight, and it gives us a feeling of comfort. So I always want to promote, like, family members, just hug each other, love each other. I'm not saying just go around hugging everybody. Obviously use discernment. Be very careful with your spirit. But I just like the art. I think his name is Ken. Don't quote me on it though. What do you think of this one, Jay?
Yeah, positive, healthy healing. I'm a hugger. I am a hugger. Hug was always a big thing in my family. We usually all cracked each other's backs at the same time too. Here, come.
Yeah, we know that move.
Right?
I know that move. It works pretty good, but that's not the best way to do it. You have to lie on your stomach and through the deep breath in, and then downwards push with the breath out. That's the correct way to do it.
But I know the warm hug around a person. It's a sense of connection that is very therapeutic.
Mm. But I just like this artwork. Again, I think it's beautiful myself. I like it. It just speaks to me in a vibrational way. So I imprint on my memes when someone cooks food or speaks anything with love. It usually imprints. Now, this was a remix. Again, I think we covered this last week. But I just want to show the artwork. It talks about you can see. So the Christ was telling everybody, look to people's eyes. Right? You can really learn a lot about a person through their eyes. That's key. That's pretty much what the meme was about. I just thought it looked nice too. I'm starting to learn a little bit with how to, highlight certain things. And it's been a fun process for me, getting all the spelling and the correct grammar. It's been a challenge, but I've enjoyed it. This is one of my favorite memes that I think I've ever created. It's just, I love it. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, it's beautiful. The artwork's beautiful. And, yeah, I know that you have the deep empath eyes. It's a big, important aspect, something that you super relate to. Great message. It's beautiful.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. It's
really I'm sort beautiful. Of just, yeah. Sometimes art pieces people like to look at just to look at. So here's that point I was talking about earlier. So did it screen share?
It is. I'm staying in studio mode right now, and I'm afraid to go back the other way. Right now it is transitioning, so we're going to stay with this.
It says new music. So over on Reality Check, again, in the description box, see more, click that. You'll get the link to the Telegram group Reality Check. And the Reality Check chat is an easier way to search it sometimes too. We search the realm from corner to corner looking for the top new independent breaking music. We do this to take back the control and beat the censorship known as the New World Order. We always have fresh and new breaking music each and every week for everybody in all styles and genres. So stay tuned in. So, Jason, what do you think of the music?
It's great. Yeah, we've gone through a couple different genres, but it's I've always been a new music guy. Like, as soon as everybody was listening to a song and it was all mainstream, I didn't want to hear it anymore. I wanted to find something new. So I've always been that way, and you are the same way too. So with us and help from Estonia, it's great. Yeah, I've come across so many great songs that I would have never heard without this help.
Yeah, it's something that I'm passionate about. Super passionate. New breaking music, and then sorry about that. One of the most important things about it too is it manifests sometimes our words. So if you're super in tuned and you're jacked into the simulation, you can warp the simulation around you. And, I do it all the time. And I don't know how many people notice it. I think only if you have eyes will you see it. I was pretty brash on my last Facebook page. I was literally calling it out. Like, you guys want to see supernatural stuff? And then crazy stuff was taking place. It happens to me all the time. So if you're in tune with the morphic resonance of this place, you can absolutely manifest music that'll have words that you couldn't have wrote better to suit the situation that you're in your life. Do you ever have these types of actions, Jason?
Yeah, songs come at specific times for specific reasons. I've noticed that before where I'll have a song come and I'll hear it and I'll know that that's the song that I need to use in a video that I plan on making, or, for some of our hangouts. All of a sudden the right song for the hangout shows up at the right time.
Yes.
And you just recognize it. You go, oh, that was divine. Thank you. So
how else do we say it? Sometimes when you're editing, you put a song in there and all of a sudden all the beats line up with everything in the video clip. Like, I couldn't even I couldn't even plan it like that. A lot of my videos sometimes work out like that, where it builds itself, and then I know that definitely it's got to be my higher self. It wasn't me. Here's my other favorite meme. So the empath eyes was very special to me, but this one here, so crying. So, when we get the depiction of what Christ looked like, because, everybody fights, oh, he was this, he was that, but nobody actually goes and does the research and finds the actual book that was kept where a Roman soldier wrote down what he looked like. In that line, he was saying that he wasn't one to usually break out with like bursts of laughter, like sort of me and Jason do, but he was seen to cry and weep for his people. Right. So Christ knew the importance of crying. When he was in the garden before he did his passion, he actually cried tears of blood before he did what he had to do. So here this goes on to state spiritual truth about crying. It says, did you know that crying can actually be very healing and a strong spiritual experience? It is a wonderful way to release stagnant and unpleasant energy, especially if you're an empathic person. We have obviously been conditioned to see crying as a weakness, like boys are, I know parents initially don't want their children to cry. It's a good thing to create tough kids too, but sometimes the crying is something that should be promoted. It can heal. You can have multiple different ways to cry, but I'll continue. It says, but in other cultures, crying is actually collectively seen as a very enlightening experience. So I'm a big fan of Asian cultures. I mix the good from everything together. I'm a mixed spiritualist. You know how most people are mixed martial artists. I'm what you call a heavyweight mixed spiritualist. I started with Bruce Lee, and Bruce Lee had mixed all the different martial arts together already. And he did that in the 70s. So I was right onto that. It says they actually have classes called Ryukatsu, which translates to tear seeking. This class is dedicated to regular sessions of crying to provide people a safe space to process their more difficult emotions. So this is absolutely something that I bring out in people. I just have always been that person. I say the things, do the things, put out the content that evokes emotional responses from people. Now, Jason happens to be one of the most logical Spock-like characters in the simulation, but I still got to him a few times too. So I just want people to know that when you're around me, you are in a safe space. You can let your emotions flood out. You can be healed by all of the things that you release. You are the worker, though. You do the washing, right? I can just provide the safe space, and I can inspire your emotions to come out that you can heal from. That's just who I am and what I do. I'll finish reading it, and then I'll get Jason's take. It says, even tears of joy can be very energetically purifying and uplifting for the spirit. Now, nothing uplifts me more than purifying joy crying. So I got to tell you guys, there's a trainer at my gym. So he actually came in and he trained me for free for a good month and a half, 2 months. And every time I talk to him, he gets joy tears in his eyes. He just gets excited. And these types of things, I think, is the fruits of the true spirit, the true light, the Father's light, that, he is that emotion. You should never hide your joy tears. That this is something that's like a gift. It's a little bit of the millennial reign. So our bodies are limited to the way that it can feel, right? We're super dampened, put it that way. And everything that this realm does is to dampen it even more. So if you know anybody that has joy tears, if you ever have joy tears, I want you guys to document what you were doing, what you were thinking, what you were wearing. You need to document this so you can recreate it. I don't get it all the time, but it's definitely a favorite of mine. And it goes on to say, remember this next time you need to cry. You are not weak at all. It takes a truly strong person to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is a show of strength. If it's used correctly, you don't just go around and be vulnerable with everybody. You only go be vulnerable with those that are vibing with you in today's world. So Jason, what do you think of this meme?
Yeah, everybody loves joy tears, right? If we could choose tears, we all want joy tears. But then there's the sad tears as well. So yeah, I've had both. I'm guessing most people here have gone through what you might think of as a bottom of the barrel, completely broken moment where you go into wails and sobs and just cry your heart out, and there's an energetic release from it, because you cannot maintain that forever. You will eventually cry yourself out. So you can sob yourself to an actual place of peace that comes along. And so there is, I see the healing aspect of the sad tears and the joy tears. Yeah, they're just fun. You love those.
Yeah, I got to say, if I'm being paid with the way that people heal and react around me, to see someone have joy tears with the way that we talk, that's got to be like one of the highest payments that I could possibly ever receive. And nothing makes me happier. So everybody, don't be afraid to get connected. You need to let those emotions out. You need to heal from them and move on, not to regress them. And again, this Ryukatsu, they took a piece of what the Christ was teaching and they held on to it. And, you know, most things that are seen as weaknesses sometimes are actually strengths. So we'll continue on here. I really love that meme. This one here is interesting. It says humans did it screen share.
Yeah, we're going good now in studio mode.
Did you know? It says humans can only see 1% of the visible light spectrum, which means we can only see 1% of what is truly going on around us. In other words, we are unable to see the vast 99% of the realm we live in. Take a moment to absorb that. The majority of our existence is unseen, everybody. It's felt, it's heard, it's tasted, it's not seen. It's not seen. This is one attribute of the simulation, and there's so much more going on. So much more. This one speaks to my heart really deeply. Jason, what say you?
Yeah, if we can just visualize being able to just flip a switch, a filter change, and all of a sudden see the spirits around us, we'd probably act a whole bunch different. But we hide behind a veil where we think that nobody sees what's going on. And yeah, just remember that you will only see 1% of the light, and that there's a whole bunch else out there that can see all of it. So it's a good one to keep in mind.
Sorry, I was just trying to interact with the chat a little bit. So yeah, everybody, the spiritual realm, there's so many other things that you should have spiritually held in your mind and thought. Your true power is unseen. It's in the spirit realm. That's where your true power is. It's nothing that we can see. I just like that meme. Moving on here to another very, very important one. This one says, did you know? Did you know that your food and water remember things? They remember the conversations you have around them. The water holds a memory. And all food has water content in it. Every loving thing you say, every argument or mean thing you say is imprinted into the food and water around it. This is why food tastes way better when it's made out of love. So I'm going to have to unpack this. Jason, do you want to comment first?
Yeah, the water memory, all those things, I've heard about that. Also, the difference between like a store-bought loaf of bread that just ran through a factory where, you know, machines did all the work, as opposed to like a hand-kneaded out bread by a family member. All of a sudden, one tastes completely different than the other. And yeah, the one's been infused with the love, the effort, and it takes on a whole nother quality that goes beyond just the nutritional aspect of it.
Yeah, we can talk about those things, but again, what I'm trying to explain to people is the words. This is a theme that's going through this entire podcast. So everything that has water in it is sentient. It has a type of a recording system built into it, and it reacts to whether your intentions are good or bad. The gradient, right? It's a gradient. You can go manifest positivity with your food. And this is just isn't with your food. If water holds a memory and it reacts to how we talk to it, ladies and gentlemen, you're mostly made up of water too, right? Everything is that it's everywhere. We live on a 71% realm, water, 71% water. So always be thinking, you know, tell your food, be like, be healthy for me, you know, make me strong, help me grow, help my body repair itself. If you speak these things over your food and over your body, you'll have the positive manifested outcome. But if you don't understand how powerful your words are, you won't understand what this meme says, right? You really need to understand that. Make your food out of love, make your art out of love, do everything you do from a good place in your heart. And then therefore it'll all imprint properly. right? In the chat.
Great points.
Yeah, I'll keep going here. This one's about addiction. So there's a stronger link between childhood trauma and addiction than there is between obesity and diabetes. Right? 2/3 of addicts report that the war on drugs is actually a war on traumatized people. And that's just, they just need help. These are the people that they attack the most, and again, we were going through some scriptures earlier, and those people are going to be righteous, and the people that hurt those people are going to be stuck looking up at the people getting what they took away from these people. Everything's going to get flipped, everybody. So be cognizant of how you treat others, because you might be on the flip side unless you do something right, because everything is going to be flipped. So the poor is going to be wealthy, right? The lonely are going to be loved. Those that thirsted for truth are going to have it filled. All these things are going to be flipped. And soon, too. We're at the end of the age. This is something that's coming. Right, Jay?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's sad, but it's the statistical. The more that there's a link between the trauma and the addiction. And I was of the age that, what was it called now? DARE came into the school system. It was like the original don't do drugs type program. And then, so I went through all that, and then it was, later being out as a truther that I started seeing that is what really caused and drove a whole bunch of the drug problems.
Created the addictions. Yes. They came there and told us how to do it all. Yeah. Right? Here's the drugs. Put it in our face. Manifested it into reality. But, at the end of the day, anyone that's had any problems, anyone that's dealing with the obesity or diabetes, anyone that had childhood trauma, just come chill out with us, right? We're on Facebook at RJ Shine. We're on Reality Check Chat on Telegram. We're here on YouTube. If you're suffering from any of these things, just chill out with us. Just take it slow, and you can heal. You're going to do it. You're going to get through it. If you're hearing this and you're having any of these problems with addictions, I've beat addictions. You can beat it. So you're not alone. And we're going to untraumatize you. We're going to do it one step at a time, one meme at a time. Actually, here's a good one. So if everybody doesn't know, my dad's nickname was Squirrel, right? He was known. He had a fast car back in the day. he was just crazy like that. So I like squirrels, and this is a cute meme. It says squirrels are actually very kind to each other. Isn't that interesting? How wild animals are super kind and will adopt abandoned baby squirrels if they notice a relative has not come back for them. So when they get hit by a car or they fall out of a tree, who knows what happens? The other squirrels will go and get the babies. Isn't that crazy?
Squirrels are awesome. That's there's so many cool animals, but yeah, that's a fantastic thing.
I like it. I thought it was a good meme. This is a good one. Inspirational quote. I don't know if this was from Joseph too. It says, too often we underestimate the power of touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment. So the key here is honest, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around, right? If you're one of these people that want to lift up other people and it comes to you naturally, just make it stronger, be more of it, right? So an honest compliment. You can always find something that you can compliment somebody on if you're standing in a position from a caring heart position. You can always see. This is something that I daily encourage. I want other people, lift other people up, encourage them. Care, like Jason was saying, holding a door, a smile. A smile is huge because we don't wear the masks. Thankfully, we're in a state where you don't have to. A lot of other people do. And I always just make sure that I smile. And you can smile with your eyes. You can smile with your mouth. You have to wear a mask. You can still smile and just listen to people when they have something to say. And sometimes people still talk to you and they don't use words. Listen to them then too. Did you want to say anything, or I'll keep going? This is a great meme.
Yeah. You can keep going. The mask thing. I mean, that's a great point. People are having their smiles hidden. So go out of your way to hit somebody with a smile. Get them.
Yeah. Get them with that smile. Get your smile going and you'll feel good too. So this is an interesting meme. Why don't you read this one?
All right. We've got real fact number 88. The letter J was created by a guy working for the Pope in 1524. The Jesuits created the name Jesus. can get all your fun facts at real facts. Hashtag Team Yahawahashai. So yeah, it looks, that was the Snapple cap that really triggered me. No, I just made a meme about it. But yeah, it's one of those fun facts that when you hit somebody with it, it's going to change. It's going to change their life, because now all of a sudden they've been confronted with this truth, and they're never going to be able to get away from it.
Yeah, we showed you the meme earlier, right, where the Vatican was all a serpent snake thing, and so they're the ones that created the name. So the name should be, not even Jesus, it's Joshua in English, not Jesus, right? We know that.
Yeah.
The J was a Y, so Yahshua. So that's how the Yiddish people say it, right? And we knew that Christ was a researcher, right? He probably would have wanted to speak the same language as Adam, just like what we did. Very similar. I would assume that they did the research and they were known because they spoke a certain dialect. So there was no J's. They were clear. The J was created in 1524, and it wasn't even in use till the 1600s. It took the Jesuits that long to create the little books to go around the world, or the realm. I don't even want to say around, but anyways, this is a great meme. Great job, Jason. That's Jason's meme.
I've got two now.
You got two. And the non-duality one is an absolute destroyer of paradigms. So this is another really good one coming out of Estonia. It says, at the end of life, what really matters is not what we bought, but what we built. Not what we got, but what we shared. Not our competence, but our character. And not our success, but our significance. Live a life that matters and live a life of love. This is through and through. I want to tattoo this on my heart. This is character. You think of, I want to be known as Ronnie Character Harris, the shining one. You build people up. What you build. Jason and I are constantly saying, make timestamps, write posts, share, fight for truth, do something, right? Build your children, build your home, build things. Constantly try to push yourself, share things. Nothing is good unless it's shared.
And have goals that are actually going to benefit you in the long term. So much of this is avoiding the short-term goal for the eternal one. So it's important to set your goals properly.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So that you don't end up at the end going, well, this isn't what I really wanted.
If you don't have a plan, if you don't have a goal, well, you're just going to aimlessly wander through. But if you pick something, stick with it and earn it, do it, fight for it. Right. You're right. Having the goal, having the trolley tracks, right? The train needs the tracks. Have your tracks set in the right direction, or your heart's compass is another one that I like to use. If you have your heart's compass setting in the direction, you're never going to sail the wrong way. So we're almost done here. This one says turmeric. This is probably the biggest, most important one of the week. Turmeric. How do I say this? Curcumin is a yellow pigment found primarily in turmeric. Or is it turmeric? Turmeric. It has been shown to raise indigenous glutathione production in the brain, a major antioxidant defense system. The study investigated the mechanisms through which fluoride induces severe neurodegenerative changes in the mammalian brain, particularly in the cells of the hippocampus and cerebral cortex. And these are the regions of the brain that supposedly store our memories. So, this is something that I'm not using, that I'm going to, because, hey, if it's going to help with a little bit of mental clarity and help, filter out the toxins in my body, this is something that I've heard of from a lot of people that swear by it, that live by it, that this stuff is good. And I want to point out that it comes from inside the ground, the dirt. We are made from the same material that comes from the dirt. So the stuff like onions and roots, these types of things that grow in the dirt, absolutely are the best things for us.
Peanuts. That's another.
Peanuts. We're going to be growing them. Yeah. Well, they grow on a vine kind of though. But these ones here, I just want everyone to understand this. Turmeric is very important, and you can get it at all the health food stores, at all the different places. They have it everywhere. You can order it online. This is something very important. Your brain, the way that your brain works is very important. So taking this can defeat so many things. It says here, turmeric is a natural anti-inflammatory compound. It will increase the antioxidant capacity of your body. So you want to get your body working like a machine for you, creating new cells, filtering out bad things, purifying, detoxifying, all these things you have to get your body to do. That's how you get healthy. It'll boost brain-derived neurotropic. How do I say that word? Neurotropic trophic factor, lowers your risk of heart disease. I'm not a doctor, I'm a carpenter. Helps prevent cancer. This is another big one. Useful in treating Alzheimer's. So this is the key, that when we find out that it attacks the hippocampus, right? So the area that your memories are stored. So you definitely would get an Alzheimer's, and it's the toxins and everything else that they're doing to us that cause these things. This seems to be like a great remedy for so many things. People with arthritis, I know a lot of people, these are all ailments from the stuff that they're making us eat, and all different ways they're giving it to us. It fights against depression, delays aging, and it fights age-related chronic diseases too. Just this root ground up that you take. And one other thing before I'll ask your opinion, Jason, is whenever we make changes in our lives, we don't need to go like all of a sudden we're just eating this on everything. We're like doing lines of this. We're not promoting that. Small, steady changes are what makes the product work, which you manifest too. Now, the placebo effect and all that plays into effect too. You have to will it to happen. When you take this stuff, you could talk to it. You could tell it, I ask you to release me of my antioxidize me, have my body do what it needs to do through your life that you grew for. You were created for me to ingest, to heal me, right? And talk to it and use it. These are things that I think everybody should be looking into.
Yeah, I enjoy all these foods that we learn, these different attributes to them that are good for us, healthy, beneficial. So each one of these are just a nugget that I store away, and then I'm cognizant of going forward. I'd like to try some of that. I'd like to introduce that to my diet, and until we actually hear and learn about these things, we wouldn't be cognizant of it. So I love these types of memes.
Me too. I love them too, and I hope I get inspired to do more of them, and I get more help from people. I saw a video with someone just crushing up 3 garlic cloves, and before, with an empty stomach, he had a tea with garlic cloves. And absolutely, again, the garlic is like really good for us, really good. These one end. So we're going to end it off with 2 really funny ones that I don't think a lot of people saw, but that's fine. I made it last weekend. It says, man caught posing with an endangered triceratops sparks outrage by liberals that believe dinosaurs were real. Wildlife officials stated no charges can be filed against the hunter because current loopholes in the law does not make pretending to kill an animal that never existed illegal. Liberals say that closing that loophole must be their highest priority. I thought this one was pretty funny. Wait, there's more. Let me read the rest part. It says breaking. It's just coming across the wire right now. Front news, it says daily feed, extra, read all about it. Smug smirk, unidentified shining man questioned over outrage.
It didn't transition on this one.
Oh no. I'll read it again.
We gotta get the transition though. I still see the yellow one. Oh, there we go.
Is it back on now?
No, go to the other one, the new one.
No, I wanted to read this one first. Well, I guess we got it.
Okay.
So, sparked outrage. Questioned. Is this one not sharing now?
No, the one with the triceratops and you in front has been the whole time.
Okay.
The second one didn't.
Question over outrage.
I still
could be.
I still don't have the second one though. You went back to the first one. There we go.
Listen, I haven't read this one. So this one says we need to put a stop to this. This unidentified curly-haired man is at it again. This time he's killed another endangered species, a dragon. If anyone sees this man, please call Greta Thunberg or Greenpeace or PETA. Please help. He will stop at nothing to kill all these fictitious creatures. We must stop this dangerous man now. It says breaking, a huge twist in the Shining Hunter case. Breaking. Read all about it. Daily feed today. We need to put a stop to this, screams outraged Karens across the realm. The unidentified curly-haired man is at it again, killing another dragon. I thought that was pretty funny. And that was the end of it. So yeah, everybody share truth, fight for truth, talk kindly to yourselves, to the food, to your family, to your friends. Step out of your comfort zone too, and make sure you're concentrating on manifesting things through power, not through force, through your heart's power, your intentions. Tell me when you want me to unscreen share. This hunter is probably going to continue. We'll probably have more breaking articles on this character here.
All right. You can stop the screen share now.
Okay. So thanks, everybody. Sorry about the technical issues we had tonight. We're just a couple carpenters. OBS does what it wants.
Yeah.
And I'm just...
Sometimes it's just a little glitchy and we have to work our way through it.
I hope to make this experience a lot more enjoyable, a lot more higher tech. We want to get things a lot cleaner, and I want to get better memes. And we brought other people from the community in, some of my friends and some people that I just know through posting memes. And we want to encourage more of that online. So please keep doing it. If I shared a meme of yours and you didn't want it shared, please let me know, and I won't do that again. But I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope everybody got something out of tonight. I feel very encouraged that I was able to share these types of things with everybody, and I look forward to continuing to do it. We've got so much that still needs to be created. So keep your head up, love yourself, talk kind to yourself, never give up, okay? You're not alone.
Yeah, this has been a blast. Everybody, please tell us what your favorite meme was, and we'll keep track of it, and then we'll be able to put together like the best of for a time period. So we would love to hear your input on this. It's been a joy. Glad we got to spend this time together, everyone. Ronnie, where's the only place anybody's going to hear this?
Only Yahawahashai News Network. Good night.